So you're starting a new people initiative, you're excited to get it going, get the word out to people, but where do you start? In this video, I'm going to talk you through 4 essential tips for developing an HR communication strategy when you launch a new program. Hi, I'm Julia. I'm the People and Culture Coordinator here at Guusto, and on this channel, we help people leaders like you build amazing workplace cultures by recognizing and engaging your employees. Whether it's a recognition program, a new learning and development plan, or an EAP, a new HR initiative can be a really exciting opportunity to bring something valuable to your team. But in order for that to happen, your team needs to know about it, they need to use it, and you need to make sure that it's actually creating value for them. That's where a great HR communication strategy comes in. Good HR comms can really make the difference when it comes to user adoption and user satisfaction for a new HR program. The problem is, it's a lot of work. And larger companies will often have internal communications teams or change management teams that can handle a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to the promotions and communications involved in rolling out a new program. So, these teams might create promotional materials like changing desktop backgrounds or, logos on ID badges or putting posters up around the office space. They might even run a training so that every employee is aware of the new program. But how do you do this when you're on a smaller HR team, say of 10 people or 5 people or even 1 person? Now, I feel your pain. At Guusto, the people team is just 2 people, myself and Noah. Since I started a little over a year ago, we've rolled out a new book purchasing policy, a new performance management tool, a social events platform, and a bunch of other initiatives and policies. And if there's something that I've learned from working on a small people team, it's that you can really take a lot of the strategies that these larger organizations are using and just execute them on a smaller scale. It's all about working smarter and adapting things to work for the scale that you're working on. Here's how. Number 1, gather your information. First, gather some information and figure out the best tactics for your program. It's important to consider what communication channels you have available to get the word out about your new program. This could be anything from an email, a newsletter, Slack channel, or a bulletin board. Then consider what's worked well in the past when it comes to communicating or launching new programs. It's entirely possible that when you send a mass email to everyone, it gets ignored. And it's possible that, in-person trainings are the way to go for your company or an asynchronous video training. Think about what's worked well in the past and follow that. The last thing here is that it's important to think about the scale that you're working on. If it's a small program, relatively, you might not need a large multi-channel communication strategy. If it is a larger program that you're trying to roll out, like say a recognition program, it's important to drive adoption early on. And so it might be worth the extra effort to put together a more comprehensive communication strategy. Once you've gotten the intel you need, the next step is to build a project plan and timeline, detailing what you're planning to implement and when, your goals, and how you're going to measure them. An important thing here is to think of this as more of a change management strategy, less of a launch plan. Launching a program just means starting it. Change management means launching a program, telling people about it, and making sure they're actually using it. So you should set targets and milestones that go well beyond the timeline of your initial launch so that you can track the success of your program over time. And if your communications aren't performing, you can adjust and make changes where necessary. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, feel free to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Number 3, focus on key areas. Your communication plan might be fairly simple or fairly ambitious, depending on what kind of initiative you're introducing and the resources available to you. The important thing is that it covers the key areas that are going to be crucial to your success. First thing is that making sure your communications reach every level of your organization. You should have communication plans for how you'll introduce the program to employees, to managers, to senior leaders, because you might actually take different tactics for each group. Second, technical requirements. Now, think about whether you're going to need to distribute passwords or change links on your website or load users into a program, and try to align your launch with this piece. Because the last thing you want is to introduce a new, bright, shiny program only to find that half of your employees can't even access it yet. Thirdly, and most importantly, is training. You want to make sure your communication strategy gives your employees the training they need to use the new programs easily. And this isn't just about making sure that everyone on your team knows how to use the program, but why. For instance, with recognition programs like Guusto, we advise our customers not just to show people how to use the platform, but to communicate why it's important and the impact that recognition can have on their culture. Number 4, find easy wins. Finally, think outside the box and come up with a couple really easy wins that you can help to make your communication strategy successful. Now, I'm talking about strategies that might be a relatively low lift, but they can really help improve your program's visibility and give people the information they need to use it. For instance, you could have your IT program push custom desktop backgrounds the day of a program launch so that when an employee opens their computer, they're reminded of the new program. Another thing you could do is a desk drop. So create little pieces of branded swag, or maybe ask your program provider for some. Even if it's something small like a squeezy ball, it seems a little cliche, but they'll probably use it if it's on their desk. And every time they do, they'll be reminded of the new program and it'll remain top of mind. Now, with certain programs like recognition or wellness initiatives, contests or themed activities can be a really good way to drive excitement, especially when you're first launching. One of the best things you can do, though, is get your people involved. So try to find internal champions across as many departments as possible who you can train to answer questions about the new program for anybody that needs it. You can even do something special like place a sign on their desk or, a new Zoom background for them if you're working remotely to let everybody know that they are a program champion and to come to them if you have any questions about the new program. Speaking of quick wins, I'd love to know, what are some quick and easy communication strategies that you use to get the word out about a new people initiative? Let me know in the comments. Now, I know what you're thinking. That still seems like a lot of work, right? Listen, you don't need to go all out and introduce every new branded background and squeeze ball and all the bells and whistles that I've suggested in this video. You don't want to spread yourself too thin, and it's important to only take on what you can realistically accomplish. But where you can implement a few of these tips or tricks, they could have a massive payoff and make your new program a lot more likely to succeed. So, to recap. Our top 4 tips for developing a communication strategy for new HR initiatives are: 1. Gather your information. 2. Build a project plan and timeline. 3. Focus on key outcomes. And 4. Find quick wins. If you keep these things in mind, you can create a comms plan that could really help you get the word out about what you're doing, even if you've got a small team and limited resources. Now, if it's a recognition program that you're hoping to implement, let us help. Guusto has a ton of resources that can help you. 1 is our Ultimate Employee Recognition Playbook, which takes you through 6 simple steps to build and launch a successful recognition program. Click the link in the description to get your copy. Hey everyone, if you found this video helpful, please like the video as it really helps us get our content out to more people. And if you're looking for more great culture building content, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon so that you don't miss an upload. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to recognize someone for a job well done today. Mucho gusto.